What up, party people? This is Eric J. Welcome to the.
Why you
How you
laughing?
gonna laugh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, see.
Let's
Welcome to the 3BS Pod. I'm Janet,
I'm Eric J.
him, your boy Jeremiah.
and we're your hosts. Today we talking about the 3BS origins, which is three black sheep. Okay, we doing
Uh,
sibling swap, all this. We're just gonna get right into it. You know what I'm saying? How we came up with this pod, why we even doing this shit. I mean, why we doing this? You know what I mean?
we're not filtering. We're not filtering it. The
Yeah,
kids probably
Okay,
can't listen to it,
because
but we'll be
we ain't
filtering.
finishing
cool,
the damn thing. You hear me?
cool.
Damn.
We ain't gotta go just reckless with it. You know?
Right, right. We ain't trying to get canceled before we even start.
I know. I'm just saying. We
All this
gotta
being left in the podcast, too, by the way.
Okay, so our first topic today is, kind of why the pod came up. What was the ideas behind it? Why we call ourselves the Three Black Sheep? And then we just gonna go from there.
I mean, it was a topic that I think you suggested.
Nah, the origin.
Oh,
Yes, was your topic.
okay. Well then, okay, fine. I'll take it. I'll take it. So I think
And then we'll
it
just jump
was.
in if you say some incorrect shit.
Exactly. So that's why before I started, I was gonna go ahead and give a disclaimer.
Now, you ain't got to get no
This
disclaimer on
we
us, you
are
know?
we are all gonna give a unique, different perspective on this. So, and that's pretty much like standard across the board with all three of us. So, from my perspective, this came about 3 years ago. We were operating a food truck, running a food truck, all three of us, and we were like just hanging out, having fun, enjoying each other's company. I forget who came up with it first, but they were like, we should do a podcast. Like, we should just get on a podcast, record us being us, and like put it out there and see what the world thinks of it. Because it's hilarious. When we get around each other, I swear it's like we bring the goofiest, funniest shit out of each other. And I think when we're not around each other, it's not so much the same. So I think that's what you're gonna feel and see in this podcast. And I feel that that's how we came up with this idea.
Yeah, it definitely was born off the food truck. I'll give you that. You saying you don't know who I did was, I feel like that's a little bit of a
No,
stretch.
yeah, no.
Yeah, because it
Stop
was
the
my
bull.
idea.
Janet, okay.
And
I'm done with the podcast already. I'm done with it.
Hey, you can't be
so
jumping off the ship before we even set
nah.
sail.
Nah, I feel like that's pretty much how it all went down. But like the reason we call ourselves the Three Black Sheep, 3BS for short, is because we just I feel like taking a different road in life than most of our extended family. And yeah, like just the origin of a black sheep is being like the outcast, the outsider.
Right.
So just being outside of the expected or outside of expectations, we'll say,
Right.
outside of what was expected, or really, I don't feel like it was any expectations. And I'll just speak for myself because I don't really know about everybody else, but like, or how y'all feel about it. I guess y'all can speak to that yourselves, but just I feel like it wasn't really any laid out expectations or plans for me specifically, but just you know, other than living up to this expectation of perfection or like making as little mistakes as possible and like
From
that's
that religious background.
right. That's just not what life is, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like that's where my black sheep part come in because I just was Like I'm not going down that road.
Yeah.
I want to experience. Not that I'm not going down that road, because I feel like religion and all of that is a whole different topic, and maybe we'll get into that later. But I feel like making a stance against the family dynamic, kind of will put you on the outskirts, or people look at you like, oh, why you can't just conform? So
Mhm.
that's where my 3BS part come in, or that's where my black sheep part come in. But
Yeah.
I'll let Maya or E take it over.
I mean, and it's about the same thing for me. It's more of a not fitting into the box that the world wants you to put it in. Like, because everybody in this world get brought up with some, oh, you supposed to do this way, and then you supposed to walk this path, and that's how you supposed to get to where you supposed to go. But that ain't always the truth. Every black sheep has their own path to walk down, have their own grass to eat, their own way, their own way to get to where they going, man. And that's been the biggest thing for me. I've never been one to follow down somebody else's footsteps just because they made it. Because
Yeah.
I can learn from what they did, but they their own person. I'm not gonna be able to walk the exact steps they did.
Right.
No matter how it go. We wear the same size, we wear different size shoes. I ain't worried about all that. So
Well, technically, you and I were the same size, but
hey,
anyway.
don't worry about me. You hear
Hey,
me?
hey.
Don't
So
worry your feet, but your feet ain't like my feet though. You hear me?
okay.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, because your feet stank after a basketball
Hey,
game.
hey,
You hear
hey,
me?
hey,
And
hey,
that's a whole nother
hey,
topic.
That's a whole
hey,
nother topic.
I mean, I guess it kind of
hey.
goes with what this episode is about, but like,
What?
I feel like it do, because our next thing was if we could choose, if we could swip. I said swip.
Swift, please keep that in there. Do not edit that out.
If we
Swift,
could,
we gonna put that. Hey, put that on the t-shirt.
yeah,
If we
yeah,
can
yeah,
swim,
yeah.
if we can swim, you can swim.
When I swip, you swip, we swip. All right.
Hey, we're gonna come up with a sponsor of our own.
They go like Swift by Swiffer Webjet.
Yeah. My God, Swiffer. Anyway,
You
I feel
want
like
a Swiffer? Come and get a
Let her
Whip.
talk, man.
he get a jingle in his head all the time.
Right.
Anyway, but that kind of leads into our next topic, which is if you could swap places with one of your siblings, would you do it, and why?
Well, I wouldn't. Mostly
Yeah.
because
He finna go down some spiritual shit.
I am. I wouldn't. Only because
We call him Philosopher E, y'all.
philosopher E with my hat on. 4 scores and 17 years ago.
Y'all can't.
Yeah, right.
He is at the window looking out like he's Thomas Jefferson or somebody.
Like, like Kevin Hart in his stand-up when he was like, "Hey, get out the bowl." The old man said.
All you need to do is put that little Thanos sound behind me,
Right.
and I sit back and rest on it.
But E, keep going, man. He said he wouldn't.
I wouldn't, because what made me today, it was a different path that all y'all had to go down, but we all got back here.
And when we say siblings, when I say siblings, I'm including our older siblings too.
Oh,
when I give my answer.
Well, then definitely no.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't think I would switch with any of my siblings. Well, I feel like I wouldn't want to be no man. Well, if I was a man, that's a whole different. This is another topic of mine, but that's a later episode. So I'm gonna say no too, just because, kind of like what E was saying, like, we all have our own path or journey to go on. So like switching paths with somebody else doesn't necessarily mean that your life will be easier.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just a different set of struggles, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. And and I completely agree with you. You both. I wouldn't swap either. And I think this ties into that original topic that we just spoke about with how we came about this, like what made us feel like black sheep. It's because we decided to be individuals and to like hone like ourselves. And I think that that's the same that's the same with, swapping places. Like no one can live your life but you, and no one can walk in your footsteps but you. And I
Yeah.
think that as I've gotten older, that's something that I've drilled down into more and understood more, is that, I got to be proud and happy to be me if I want to be happy. Because there were times in my life where I tried to be somebody else and wasn't quite happy, or it just didn't work out. And like learning at an early age that it's just so much better to be you, so much easier, so much funner to be you and be yourself. Like that's what made me, would make me not want to swap, and also what made me feel like a black sheep as well.
Yeah, no, and I feel like as you was giving your
soliloquy.
right, as you was giving that, it kind of made me feel like giving you some advice, which is the third topic of this
Okay.
episode. You know what I mean?
Oh, here we go. As you guys probably already can tell, I'm the youngest. So here we
That's
go.
Maya talking, just for y'all. But yeah, I guess it's a piece of advice. So the third topic, let me not skip ahead. The third topic was if you had a piece of advice for one of your siblings, and I'm talking about just the three of us.
Mine for both of y'all, it's probably kind of the same, honestly. Y'all both have a way of, when it gets to a point to where there's a new change, y'all both have a way of kind of, if it's like unexpected, if it's unexpected, y'all both kind of got a way of digging y'all feet in until you see the thing that y'all need to happen before y'all go with it. Or if it's a change that might need to happen but y'all aren't ready to happen, y'all would be like, and it's not even more of a
you sound like Charles Barkley over here. What he trying to say is we can be resistant to change. And
that's what I just said. How you gonna tell
you
me
didn't
about
say
my
those words.
He giving his advice.
Right.
Okay, my bad. But I'm telling you, you over there like the Krispy Kreme donut.
Again, this is why Maya gets the treatment he gets. You know?
Yo.
Whatever. It's undignified.
But nah, I would just say, if I give the biggest advice to both of y'all, I would say that y'all should be more carefree, in the sense of, if you can't control the uncontrollables, don't stress over them, and don't be adverse to that new change coming.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I can agree that that is one of the traits that I have. I guess for me, it's less of being resistant to change and more of like, how can I achieve this in the most logical way?
Mm-hmm.
And the specific way that I feel like it relates to conversations me and E have had is about whether to move or not to move. So like for his situation, I feel like it's easier to accomplish that. But for mine, I feel like it's a family to consider, and what is going to happen instead of me think, because if it was me, like 21, 22, I'd have been like, fuck it, let's go. Let's do, let's live life and do whatever the fuck we want. And we'll deal with the consequences later.
She says you want to live life golden.
Yeah. But like, I think now, in my early 30s, like it's more, I'm more considerate now because of my kid and my family, because I want to make a decision that, it's always a chance that that decision is going to backfire and not going to work out. But I want to make a decision that makes sense at least for the next couple of years. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely wait, what was your advice?
He said, stop being so quick,
No,
Pin.
no,
Stop
no. I
being.
got
stop
ease. What
being
was
Oh,
content with your book.
you didn't finish your
yeah.
Oh,
sentence.
my
Stop
advice.
being.
No,
Yeah.
I thought you had something to say to what my E said
Oh
about
no,
you.
no, no. No, I mean, I guess like I do agree that that is something that
That's a
I
little brother in him.
Yeah.
He said, I mean, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I do agree with the fact that I have been that way before. I think that I've
Before.
grown. Yeah, because I'm not. Okay. So he's arguing that I still am, but I
Now,
think that
y'all both still got 10. Y'all have grown like everybody. Y'all have grown and gotten better at those things. But y'all still have moments where it's like, well, even I'll be like, it ain't that. I mean, you can't stress over it. You gotta let it go,
yeah.
let God, and move forward. Because at the end of the
No,
day,
and you are absolutely right about that for sure. But I think that's progress is what you're mentioning. It's like I used to be where you're speaking from, where I was like really really resistant and like just stressing about any little thing. But at this point, there's certain slip ups at times, and you're right about that as well. But
I
I
feel
think
like
from
you
where I
still
did,
deal with that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I
they
feel like
they gonna do that a lot too.
I was just saying. I just want to interject before you go on, but like I feel like you still deal with that, but from outside factors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If other people are putting pressure on you, like to make a decision, or you know, you just feeling overwhelmed with the situation, like it still will cause you to drag your feet. And I'm the same way because I need time to think out all the options
Yeah.
mm,
and really weigh the pros and cons. So like if it's a situation where it feels rushed or like somebody else is making this decision for me and it doesn't feel authentic to me, then I will be like either unhappy about the decision and that'll show, or I'll go along and then when some go bad, I'll be like, see?
Yeah, yeah, like you waiting for the shoe to drop.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I'll be telling y'all, you can't do that.
'Cause-
Even if the shoe does drop and it ends up being negative, you still got there's still positivity in the negative.
Yeah. No, and again, you're right. But he swear he's the wisest of the three of us.
No, I don't.
You the
Yeah.
one. You the
No,
one in the
I'm the
middle.
most broken of the three.
That is okay. That's also not true. But anyway, all right. Let
No,
me.
it
Let
is.
me. Let.
It
Can
is.
Janet? Can Janet?
As a kid, it was a lot of broken. It was a lot of brokenness and stress
Okay, I
and
know.
strife and a lot of shit that I had to grow up from.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like as I've gotten past those certain things, if I see y'all going through some of the things I went through when I was younger, it's like I'm not gonna give y'all the answers to get through it because it's not y'all finding it for yourself. But I wouldn't be a good brother and who I am today if I didn't at least
Try to
bring
impart
it up
some wisdom.
and
Yeah.
try to get y'all to attack it. Because sometimes us three, we have a way of, it's a big problem. I can put it off for tomorrow. But a lot of times we don't need to put it off for tomorrow and we need to attack it right now so we can get it done with. That
What?
way, when those other advanced problems similar to that come, we have different ways of knowing how we can get past it.
Right. No, and I think that you would be proud of me. I'm doing a lot more of that these days. But
So yeah,
let's have Janet and I respond to what our advice was. So
oh yeah.
for me, I would say to the two of you, um, don't let fear be your deciding factor or your guidance as you navigate your life. And what I mean by that is like don't be afraid to go into something because it's an unknown. Like obviously y'all know me. I'm gonna tell you do your research, weigh your options, really, think it through and plan, for what you want to do, but like also don't allow the fear of it and the unknown of it to be like, you know what, I'm just not gonna do it right now. It's not the right time. Like, don't let that pull you back or hold you down or tether you to something.
Okay. And I respect that piece of advice.
Me
It's
too.
kind of similar to what he was saying on the cool,
Oh,
but
is it?
Because I think honestly, all three of us are at that point where we all about to tell each other similar or the same stuff.
Maybe.
now
Because I feel like you were saying.
Look at Janet. There she goes.
And my advice to y'all is totally different.
She about to be like, I'm tired of you and your untapped potential. You're not doing this and doing that.
That is episode 2. So I don't know why he bringing it up right now.
The
Definitely taking a deep
spoilers.
dive into untapped potential, and not just ours, but like the world's, all that shit.
Right.
But my advice to y'all is different based on who the two of y'all are. So Maya, I guess I'll start with you. And this one is like, if it's too personal, you can just stop me. Because both of y'all.
As long as you don't disclose any of my personal information.
No. I'm not saying any name or nothing like that.
He said,
Maya lives at.
He said, I don't want the government calling me.
He's like, Maya lives at. I don't know why Maya always do that.
Okay, I'm very private. All right, come on, keep going.
You do, Maya. Hold on, because you do.
No, hey, we up against it. We up against it.
Okay, fine.
All right. Okay. So my advice to you, Maya, is I think that you should spend more time making a plan and actually utilizing the resources that you have to achieve that plan. And specifically, what I have in mind by what I'm saying is regarding your basketball career. Because I feel that there's things you can be doing more to achieve that. And if that's, really the route that you want to go, like, you have a vast network in the city that you live in, and so there's been additions to your family that can help you achieve that if that's the route you want to go to. So I don't want to see you, like, for both of y'all, I want to see y'all achieve y'all's dreams and go where you see yourself going, or at least try to get to where you see yourself going. Because, for all of us, our dreams might not necessarily align with our destiny, right? So I feel that there are opportunities to be, not just for you to be an opportunist, you know what I mean? But like, there are opportunities there for you to do more than what you're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And I wasn't sure how you was gonna take that because I know you.
I have grown.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't meant to be a dig. I'm just giving it to you like a big sister would,
Yeah, and you're not here to hear it every day, but that's what she tell me about my music.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going with E. Speaking of E, kind of along the same lines of what I just said to Maya, but like I can see the gears turning for you in ways where you feel like this is something that you want to do and this is the route that you want to walk down, but you also are open to switching that up and trying different avenues. So yeah, since our last personal talk, I've seen that development in you. And I appreciate you taking my advice to heart.
Whatever.
Hey, you ain't gotta be so resistant to change.
I'm not resistant, young man.
He just said because you said resistant to change.
Yeah.
But
he was trying to bring it full circle.
But for
well, that's the best way to go, right?
But for E, so music is your biggest thing, and you're open to photography and stuff like that. That's cool, and I can help you with that for sure. And I can do a better job of taking you serious in that. But okay, I'm getting on myself too. I ain't just hamming y'all or trying to hem y'all up.
Yeah,
I can do a better job of helping you with that. But I also think that there are ways that you can advance your music. That's might be outside of the box ideas, or ways that, I guess, untraditional ways, at least for you,
Right.
to move your music along.
Do more than what I'm doing.
Yeah, because I mean, going to the studio and stuff, and using the programs and stuff, that's cool. But there are other aspects to music that I'm learning with YouTube and photography. Like, you can do reaction videos, or testing new gear, or just, and not necessarily stuff that you have to go spend $100 or $200 absorbing, whatever. You ain't got to spend a lot of money,
Right, to do
to buy this gear and stuff like that, to do reviews. But like, just if you start your channel, or you gear your music Instagram towards that, you can potentially reach out to people to get stuff for free, like sponsorships and stuff like that, so you can do reviews, especially if it's companies that are up and coming too. They might just be like, hey, as many people talk about these headphones, as we can, it's worth it.
Right.
So just, thinking outside the box when it comes to different avenues. And I'm sure after I said all this, y'all got some advice for me too. So I can't wait.
No. What I want to know is, I got a question.
Yeah, I said my piece. I do. In response to that, I do agree though that there are a lot of different things that recently, as I've come more self-aware, because I always go through periods where I was telling Janice the other day, I'll go through periods where you go through something, and then when you get towards more the end of it, you kind of get more self-awareness of the situation you was in, and you kind of understand more of what you can do better. And I agree. There's definitely a lot of stuff with my music that's not involving money that I could be doing. Yeah, that's avenues that I gotta start going down, especially if I want it to be serious. So.
For the love of it, right? For the love of it.
Well, I thought you about to say for the love of God. I was about to be like,
I'm like, why?
No. It's for the love, for the love of the passion,
Yeah.
Hey,
I think it might be a good avenue for you to go down producing too, but we can talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah.
Here is my question to you, Janet, to you, sis. Without that in-depth advice you gave E, are you saying you love him more than me?
No.
All right then.
No, I got in-depth advice for you, but we'll talk about that.
The only difference between the advice he gives me and the advice he gives you is Mr. Don't be so resistant to advice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
all
this
right.
is the game. Yeah.
All right. Hey, we triplets. We're always together.
Nah,
But anyways, we are
3BS podcast. Put in the comment section who's the best sibling.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. He's in charge of making that. So when it's up, you can follow us, 3BS Pod. It's at 3BS Pod. And East standing right here, so that better be what.
Yeah, it better be. hey, but we are at the top of the show. We appreciate you guys tuning in. This is just E1 of the 3BS podcast. We're looking forward to releasing more. This is just a taste. We are just getting started, so tune in to the next one. See you.
Peace.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 3BS podcast.
Okay, you supposed to count us down, and we say that together.
Okay.
He gonna ask us, do we want to say it in unison? And then he gonna say, all right, now welcome to the 3BS podcast.